everybody needs a closer. The price, I think, is just going to be too high. If you're asking for a Jackson Merrill right out the gate, ugh.
We've had many questions about Mason Miller as he dominates the league, by far the best strikeout artist in the league right now. He throws harder than anyone else in the league right now. He's got Duran beat by like a decimal point or two, although here comes Paul Skeens to challenge that this weekend. We'll get to that later.
Not that
but Ken, not that hard. What, 10 million? Ken posted A's closer Mason Miller drawing trade interest, but asking price is steep. I will raise my hand and say that I don't think he's going to get dealt. And I was steadfast in replying to certain people over the last couple weeks in saying it would be crazy for him to be dealt. He's not making any money yet, right? He's an ARB guy for the next couple years. You're the A's. You're trying to sell the rest of the league, at least, as in the owners, on the fact that you'll eventually kind of try. So why would you trade the one piece of the puzzle that's actually drawing interest that you could build around, that could be your closer for 10 years? Like, he has the chance to be legendary. They can make the case that he has been through quite a few injuries. He had one last year that knocked out a good chunk of his season. Anyway, let's get to some excerpts from Ken. He said, I'm just taking a piece from the article. Thus, if the Padres wanted Mason Miller at this early stage, just bringing up an example, the A's likely would ask for rookie center fielder Jackson Merrill. Other teams would be hit with similar requests. And he was bringing up what the Baltimore Orioles could do, and it would involve potentially a Kobe Mayo. They're just kicking around scenarios here. So the part that surprised me, though, that might make me eat my words, Kratz, is the fact that Ken said the A's, though, will not rule out trading him. Teams entertain discussions on virtually all players. The performance of most relievers is volatile, and Miller missed almost 4 months last season with a mild UCL sprain in his right elbow. So does this shift any thoughts for you? Were you in my boat where I'm like, this guy? I get it. Like, you can get position players that could make an impact for you in the future. I'm just more thinking about how the A's operate. And I was like, this is the guy you're going to take away with all the bad press you've already been dealing with?
Maybe they're starting a transition of building up a stockpile of players. He would be a guy to get a stockpile of players. But all those guys you just mentioned, I hope they're listening today and they are going to their team and being like, please, I'll stay in AAA. Do not trade me to Oakland. Do not trade me to the Oakland or whatever the team is going to be called. I do not want to play in a AAA stadium as a big league player. But his value's there. And we've seen it already. We've seen it already with closers. Padres, they don't need a closer. I know it's just a hypothetical. Suarez is like a nothing ERA, and all he throws is speedballs. But the Orioles, we just talked about it yesterday. Cano is a great eighth inning guy. He can get those ground ball situations, bases loaded. He's going to get you a double play. Every team needs a closer. It's surprising the Rangers did what they did because of what Spores and Leclerc did coming into the postseason. They carried them in the postseason. So everybody needs a closer. The price, I think, is just going to be too high. If you're asking for a Jackson Merrill right out the gate, ugh.
What's the A's record? Do we know?
They're close to 500.
Yeah, probably like 2 games under.
I think.
I can find it while you're talking.
If you're not going to be winning too many games now.
3 games under.
A great closer like he is, and his value is probably never going to be much higher than it is right now because he's under control. He's younger. He's healthy right now. I get the steep asking price, but I also get why Oakland's not saying no to discussion. I don't think you should say no to any discussion for any player ever. I think you should always explore every option as if you're doing your job. But if you can start filling out a roster by trading him, I kind of like it. If you can get 2 or 3 players back that can help fill out a lineup instead of just one guy at the back end of a bullpen who is going to save 40 games for your 60-win season, I'll take the 2 or 3 players.
Agreed.
Okay. I mean, for entertainment purposes, it's fun. If the A's are going to actually...
he's nasty.
He is so nasty. Right. I mean, love to see him in the playoffs for a contender. but he is only selling point for that team right now. I mean, not the only, but he is the prime selling point for that team right now.
He is one of the guys that I watch, and Kratzy, you could probably relate to this, where it's like, thank God I'm not playing anymore. Oh, like thank God I'm not hitting anymore. He is one of the prime examples of like, oof, I do not want to be in that batter's box for him.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like he looks like he's stepping on it when he is throwing. And he was on the show, and he's not like this like crazy psycho guy. He's like very calm, composed, and like engaging. He was awesome. Was it last week he was on, or was it the week before, Scotty?
It was last week. Yeah, it wasn't the week before. It was last week. You got the deep voice.
Yeah, and he just has this aura about him on the mound that you're like, oh boy, like there's some dudes like Juan Soto got blown away. And I considered myself, I could only hit a fastball. I'll cheat like crazy to get to it. I don't know. Like if Juan Soto's not getting to your heater up in the zone, who is?
That's a good point. Kratzy, who would you rather face if you're stepping in the box and you see a closer, would you rather have someone who's like quiet, composed, or do you want someone who has like a whole shtick and is like a lunatic out there? Who do you feel more comfortable batting against?
Batting against?
Yes.
I love facing Chapman. I love facing Kimbrel. They just came out onto the mound and they were just like, it was nice and easy. If you sent Raisel Iglesias up there, I was like, I have no idea what he's going to throw me.
Yeah.
And he's elbows and arms and everything.
Effectively wild.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.